This is CBN Newswatch.
And thank you so much for joining us for CBN Newswatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. We begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel's military carried out its counterterrorism operation in the Palestinian-controlled city of Jenin for another day. The incursion is the largest into the terrorist enclave in more than 20 years. More than 1,000 troops uncovered dozens of explosive devices and weapons. For months, Jenin has been the hub for terror groups who have wounded or killed more than 50 Israelis in the past year. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the operation will continue as long as necessary to restore peace and security to the citizens of Israel. And so far, Israeli Defense Forces have destroyed laboratories manufacturing explosives on an industrial scale. 10 Palestinian terrorists have been killed in the operation, but so far, there's been minimum civilian casualties. Back here at home, another mass shooting in the United States. Philadelphia police say a gunman in a bulletproof vest opened fire on several city blocks, killing 5 people and wounding 2 boys before surrendering to officers last night. Investigators say the shooter had an AR-type rifle, multiple magazines, a handgun, and a police scanner. Right now, no connection is known between the victims and that shooter. July 4th plans may hit a few roadblocks with severe storms on the East Coast, across the Midwest, and the Plains. Parts of the West may see extreme heat today, with forecasters predicting even Portland, Oregon, could see temperatures climb to 100 degrees. Mark Martin has this story.
On this Independence Day, millions of Americans are on alert because of severe storms and scorching heat. Severe weather has already been pummeling the East. North of New York City, residents dealt with high winds and intense rain.
Oh my goodness, get it, slow down, slow down.
In Virginia, the heavy rains made travel conditions dangerous. And in neighboring North Carolina, residents faced strong winds and hail. Parts of the Midwest also saw heavy rains with close to 9 inches drenching some areas. Take a look at this. In Chicago, residents waded through deep water, leaving their cars behind in the flooding.
I went and then my car just started floating and I said, oh snap. So my first reaction is to escape from the car. I opened the door and water started flooding my feet.
Lexington, Kentucky saw high winds and hail. From the East Coast to Missouri, more than 100,000 customers left in the dark because of widespread power outages. The Midwest and Plains could face the worst threat, with possible damaging winds and isolated tornadoes. Then out west, more than 30 million people are dealing with heat alerts. Las Vegas climbed to 112 degrees on Monday. Officials say a woman died while hiking in the Grand Canyon when temperatures reached triple digits. Meanwhile, in the Pacific Northwest, officials issued fire warnings. A wildfire in Washington state torched several structures. More cities are now replacing their Independence Day fireworks displays with drone shows because of the dry conditions.
There's less noise pollution. There's less pollution in general, and we can run it every single night versus a fireworks show where we can run maybe once.
Mark Martin, CBN News.
Conservatives are calling Friday's Supreme Court decision in favor of Christian graphic artist Lorie Smith a major win for freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Smith declined to design wedding websites for same-sex couples with her company 303 Creative because it violated her religious beliefs. Critics say denying same-sex wedding services is discrimination against LGBTQ plus people. Regent University law professor Brad Jacobs says that is not the case.
When you look at these cases like 303 Creative, like Masterpiece Cake Shop a couple of years back, what's always true is the vendor has no objection to serving gay customers and doing work for gay customers. They're not trying to exclude gay people. They simply say a same-sex marriage is something that violates my religious conscience, and so I would prefer not to participate in that activity. So Jack Phillips was happy to bake bread and make cookies for gay people. 303 Creative, Ms. Smith is happy to, if you run a motorcycle repair business and you're gay, she'll make you a website. She just doesn't want to make a website specifically for a same-sex wedding.
This ruling by the Supreme Court could pave the way for protections for people of faith who want to opt out of providing services that promote messages that violate their religious convictions. A North Carolina megachurch with 19 church sites has quietly informed the Southern Baptist Convention it is withdrawing from the SBC. The Baptist Press reports Elevation Church told the convention's executive committee in a letter last week the decision was effective immediately. The church did not give a specific reason for leaving, but said it had no intention of changing its core beliefs. The Baptist Press reports the church added it has no plans to make any public announcement on the decision and hopes to work alongside many SBC churches in the years ahead. Under siege, the nation of Haiti is being overrun by criminal gangs, raping, killing, and starving the population. Haitian police have failed to stop the violence, so citizens are resorting to vigilante justice. George Thomas reports on Haiti's biggest crisis in more than a decade.
The head of UNICEF in Haiti tells CBN News that 80% of the Caribbean nation's capital city is in the hands of more than 200 criminal gangs.
Right now, the humanitarian situation is really catastrophic. Actually, it's one of the worst crises Haiti has been through in the past decade.
Port-au-Prince almost completely surrounded and cut off from the rest of the island.
Armed groups have been isolating parts of Port-au-Prince. They've been using siege tactics.
165,000 Haitians forced to flee from their homes in recent weeks after gangs went on a killing and raping spree, only to suffer in makeshift camps like this one.
We live in misery. We can't find food. There's no drinking water. We don't live like humans. We are humiliated.
Aid agencies are warning that half the country is now at risk of starvation.
The violence in Haiti is also about the control over resources, over valuable resources, and one of those happens to be food. And we've seen farmland being fought over. We've seen trucks with food being pillaged. We've seen humanitarian warehouses be looted.
Also caught in the crossfire, some 3 million children facing acute malnutrition. Parents forced to bring their kids to hospitals for safety after gangs attack neighborhoods in their battle for territory and control.
The parents are unable to look after their children. The majority of the children who arrive are malnourished who cannot find food.
Mounting anger and frustration, meanwhile, at Haiti's national police, unable to quell the violence. The UN saying more than 1,600 people were killed, injured, or kidnapped in the first 3 months of the year.
Despite all their efforts and all the cooperation and equipment, training and input it gets from the international community, the Haitian police is not at this moment able to defend its people.
So Haitians like Mertil Marceline joining a vigilante group that's been hunting down and reportedly killing gang members.
Today, it is not the United States, France, or Canada who will come to get us out of our situation. It is with a machete that we can get out of this situation.
That kind of justice breeds a whole other system of insecurity.
American Kevin Foldy serves as a missionary to Haiti.
People are getting tired of it, so there has been a movement underway where a lot of local people have gotten involved in a vigilante type of justice, which you can say whatever you think about that, but that's just desperation. It's where they're at right now.
Cindy McCain, the widow of late Arizona Senator John McCain, calling Haiti a forgotten crisis, as she recently toured the island trying to rally international support.
I am here to raise the alarm bells about Haiti.
Foldy is asking people around the world to pray for Haiti.
Pray for hope, pray for God to provide for them. Something will happen with the country, with the government, that things will be able to get stabilized and the course could get changed here.
George Thomas, CBN News.
Coming up, see how the Bible and Israel influenced the founding of the American nation. Stay with us. You're watching CBN Newswatch.
Daddy?
Yeah, buddy?
How many nickels are in a dollar?
There are 20 nickels in a dollar.
How do birds fly? Does milk really make my bones stronger?
Yeah.
Daddy, when we die, will we go to heaven?
Do you have the answer to life's biggest question? Call the 700 Club. We'll help you find answers to the important questions life brings your way.
Nutrition,
exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living Tuesday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Hello, I'm Dr. David Perlmutter, board-certified neurologist and #1 New York Times bestselling author. Wouldn't it be great to boost your energy, eliminate brain fog, and even reverse brain disease? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how, along with some of the world's most well-respected brain experts in this DVD, Protect Your Brain.
Get Protect Your Brain, a free DVD only from the Christian Broadcasting Network, featuring experts on the cutting edge of neuroscience and brain health.
No matter how many times you've failed in the past, you really can do this.
In Protect Your Brain, you'll discover simple strategies to keep your brain young and healthy. Improve your memory. Discover the gut-brain connection. In Protect Your Brain, get your free copy at cbn.com or call 1-800-700-7000.
If you want to improve the quality of your life, get the DVD Protect Your Brain and get it today.
Your news channel. Your shows. The stories you care about. Anytime you want. Anywhere you want. Download the CBN News app today.
Independence Day is a time to celebrate our country's freedom and also a day to reflect on the Judeo-Christian values written into the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. Appearing on the Global Lane, Rabbi Meir Soloveichik explains how the Bible and Israel influenced the founding of the American nation and still inspires us today.
One of the best ways of describing who we are is to see ourselves through the insightful eyes of non-Americans. Obviously, one of the greatest works ever written about America was written by a Frenchman, and that's Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville. But another insightful work was composed by a dear departed friend of mine, Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, former chief rabbi of the United Kingdom. And he noted the following. He said, when he came to visit America for the first time in the 1960s, he visited the memorials, Jefferson Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial. And what struck him is that aside from statues, images of the figures and founders in American history, there were also words, the ideas that were inscribed behind them, the ideas that they gave to America and to the world. And what he said is that London has nothing like this. England had a class and tradition-based society. There was no need to explain what it believed, because if you didn't know about it, you didn't belong. Whereas America, he said, was inspired by the Bible to be a covenantal society. It was founded around a set of ideas. And this is where the Bible comes in so profoundly, because as Rabbi Sacks put it, he said, Israel, ancient and modern, and America are the only cases in history of a country being founded in dedication to an idea. And that's why the founders looked first and foremost to the story of biblical Israel.
And you highlight 10 leaders, statesmen who you feel best exemplified Jewish leadership, from King David and Queen Esther to David Ben-Gurion and Menachem Begin. So what admirable qualities did all of them share?
So at the heart of biblical statesmanship is a certain sense that even as a man or woman who is reflecting greatness in leadership is truly achieving great things, what these leaders see is providence itself. I once asked a friend of mine, the great British historian Andrew Roberts, whether he could think of a great European statesman that was humble, and he didn't name any. Churchill believed in God, but as Andrew put it, in Churchill's theology, God's job was largely taking care of Winston Churchill. Whereas what's amazing about David is, at the moment of his greatest brilliance in statecraft or in military achievements, he always sees the hand of God. Or as he famously says to Goliath, the God that saved me from the lion and from the bear. he will save me against you.
Those of us familiar with the Torah, the Old Testament, and the history of the Jewish nation know that God brought judgment against the people when they took their eyes off of him, when they embraced other gods, they fell into sin. So what is the lesson for America today from the example of these 10 Jewish leaders?
And so what's incredible about the greatest of American statesmen is that they saw providence in the greatest moments of success, and then also in the most serious of setbacks. Thus, Washington, after the victory that was the revolution, wrote an incredible letter, which I would recommend to your viewers, to the Jews of Savannah. If you Google Washington Savannah Jews, he compared the miracles of the Exodus to what he saw as the miracles of the revolution. Both, of course, involved the victory of a tiny people against what was then one of the most important and powerful empires on earth. But then we have another incredible example of American statesmanship, which is Lincoln, who gives what I think is the greatest speech in American history, which is the second inaugural. And there, yes, Lincoln is about to win the war, but what Lincoln doesn't do in this inaugural is revel in his victory. He doesn't get up there and say, as we might have expected someone today to say, USA, USA, USA. Rather, he says, this is the great losses that we have experienced throughout the country is God's judgment.
What do you want people to learn from the book?
Well, there's a few different lessons I would like us to learn from the book. One is to see what biblical statesmanship truly is. And you see that in great figures of faith like David and I believe of Menachem Begin. But you also see, and this is something I think your viewers will truly understand, how one of the other aspects of the story of the Jews is that even in moments where faith is not playing a central role, the mysterious story of the Jewish people it becomes the greatest source of faith itself.
All right. The book is Providence and Power, 10 Portraits in Jewish Statesmanship. Rabbi Meir Soloveichik, thank you for sharing your time and insights. We appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Still ahead, making the impossible possible. They're following the footsteps of Jesus, even though they can't walk at all. See how the Holy Land is becoming accessible for tourists with disabilities. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you're tired and exhausted all day, you can't think clearly, and you really just need a cup or even a pot of coffee to get through your day, then join me, Dr. Josh Axe, for this new series where I'm going to teach you how to transform your diet and use essential oils and supplements to get a better night's sleep.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 to get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
Heavenly Father, we do thank you for the work of your Spirit, Lord God, with this movement of getting the Bible, yes, Lord, into public schools.
Watch The Prayer Link. Tuesday morning at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Welcome back to CBN Newswatch. Climbing steep hills and navigating rocky paths, hiking in the Holy Land can be challenging. The tough terrain has made it nearly impossible for people with disabilities to enjoy all that Israel has to offer as far as sightseeing. Well, now that's changing thanks to a ministry called Luke 5 Adventures. Paul Strand explains.
Israel's many things to many people, but one thing it's not really is all that handicapped accessible. What with the rough ground, the slippery rocks, the big steep slopes everywhere. But there's a group right now working on making sure that the handicapped can go anywhere in this land that anyone else can. Dr. John Delancey leads tours combining Israel's archaeology, history, and the Bible. But he couldn't include tourgoers with physical disabilities.
We offer multiple Israel trips a year, but no accessibility for people who can't walk.
Then Delancey discovered Luke 5 Adventures, a ministry grown to 9 U.S. chapters that help those with disabilities experience the rugged outdoors using Jolette chairs like this one.
We just completed our 800th hike in the last 3 years.
CBN News hit the trail with them in Ohio in 2021, and more recently, Israel, as they partnered with Delancey's ministry.
I thought right away this was an answer to prayer. God orchestrated this. This opens the whole new door for really going anywhere.
Delancey and Luke 5 Adventures tested that idea in Israel with Victoria Odom. She's fought her way back from traumatic brain injury and total paralysis.
I've relearned step by step.
Though not enough to tackle certain terrain.
I can never walk on slippery rocks or climb up trails.
And for people like Victoria it's not even a dream to go from here over there because it's not possible. But what we're doing makes the impossible possible.
Whitney Blackston came along to help Odom since Blackston had witnessed how Luke 5 Adventures helped transform the life of her daughter, Emerson.
She's completely blind and hearing impaired, nonverbal.
On hikes in the Jolette, Emerson came to know God's wonders in nature.
We could tell her what a tree is. She's blind. She really doesn't have a concept of what that is. But now she can get out there and feel the tree and actually feel the leaf and the leaves and the wind in her face.
Or for the first time, touch water in the wild at a place Emerson revisited in fall of 2022.
And as I was telling her that Jesus is her rock, she said, "Jesus, I want." And so we baptized her that day.
Beginning their Israel tour, Blackston and the others aiding Odom came upon an immediate challenge.
That first day we stepped off and there's this steep, deep cavern that you couldn't even see the bottom. Victoria wanted to go, so we tackled it.
Just to see that, I go, this is amazing, a God thing, and Victoria, wow, she's experiencing exactly what we are.
Masada was a really nice challenge as well.
Masada, the steep mountain where Jewish rebels made their stand against Roman legions almost 2,000 years ago.
It's relentlessly uphill for a long, long, long time.
It's up probably 500 or 600 feet in elevation, and they conquered it just amazingly.
It was incredible and will go down as one of the most amazing memories.
Talk about the uniqueness of this ministry. I don't think any other type of wheelchair apparatus ever made it up the Roman ramp there at Masada.
Other days, the group raced Odom and the Jolette like a chariot in a place real chariots once raced. And they took her on a pre-dawn hike with headlamps.
It just opened everything. I was like, I can do this. Everyone can do this.
Don't dismiss your dreams.
Now Delancey's ready to make dreams come true for others.
To offer trips to Israel on a regular basis with this amazing one-wheel wheelchair.
Delancey's ministry hopes to buy at least one Jolette and keep it in Israel for his tours and others. And Luke 5 Adventures founder points out 99.99% of God's creation is outside of where most severely disabled people can reach it.
And that's not acceptable.
Everyone should be able to do this.
And now they can get their chance. The bottom line of Victoria's adventure here in the Holy Land is never tell yourself, no matter what shape you're in, that something's impossible for you. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Jerusalem.
Stay with us. Your Tuesday Tweetable is coming up next.
On October 1st, 1961, history was made when a tiny station began transmitting the first signals of the Christian Broadcasting Network.
CBN,
Broadcasting Network.
And now, a new era has begun with the all-new CBN News Channel.
Just moments ago, the Iron Dome intercepted an incoming rocket right on the Gaza border.
Administering in this area, spiritual warfare is definitely involved.
A 24/7 news network, bringing you the news you want from a source you can trust.
In Kenya, 40% of the medical services are actually provided by these Christian hospitals.
Let's talk about the economy.
Believers here are joining together to win people to Jesus Christ.
All your favorite shows now in one place, all day, every day. The CBN News Channel. Download the app or visit cbnnewschannel.com. CBN News. Life is better with a good night's sleep. Get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
Introducing a brand new way to start your morning. Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Discover how God is moving around the world and here at home. Plus, get exclusive stories and daily scripture encouragement just for you. Stay informed. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today.
Chick-fil-A is still on top, ranked #1 for the fast food restaurants for the 9th straight year. Chick-fil-A scoring an 85 on the American Customer Satisfaction Index. Coming in at a close #2 is Jimmy John's at 84. With that, it's time now for your Tuesday Tweetable. This is a message of encouragement for you to post, tag, tweet, and share with those in your circles of influence. Patriotic freedom is certainly nice, but true freedom is only available in a life and relationship with Jesus Christ. Always remember and never forget, Jesus came from heaven to earth to give us life and to give us that life in abundance, which absolutely includes freedom. Well, that is going to do it for this edition of CBN Newswatch. I want to remind you, you can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News Channel. You can find them there at any time, as well as online at cbnnews.com. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today or any day. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. The address right there on your screen. Of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a wonderful Independence Day and join us right back here tomorrow.